Quite a few people have made videos on Temu, and so I was probably not going to, but then they just keep sending me sponsorship offers, and so I think this will stop that.
That's it. That's my intro.
Hi, Amanda, you're watching Swell Entertainment. I don't like Temu. I don't like Shein. I don't like these mass-produced fast fashion companies that have led to an overconsumption furthering on TikTok because of the haul culture on TikTok. Haul culture. The culture of hauls. People like watching hauls. And I admit, I like watching hauls too. But the problem is I feel like when this becomes someone's whole brand, then they constantly feel like, okay, I need to keep doing hauls because that's the only content that my audience likes watching. In an effort to keep making hauls but also still not go broke, they turn to companies like Shein and Temu that are cheaper in cost so that they can continue to buy more without going broke themselves, and then they can kind of keep their profits up because obviously these get views, these get links, these get what have you, and you'll get money from that, and so you're spending money. And then on some instances they're being gifted stuff, but mostly a lot of the hauls content, I think they are just buying stuff. Like when I talked about the deinfluencing trend on TikTok and people kind of missing the point of, no, the point is that you probably have stuff at home that already works. You don't have to go out and buy more. Like, oh, just because everyone talked about this does not mean that they are lying to you or that they're being paid or what have you. Like the de-influencing trend already right away just went goodbye. They were done. People still emailing me about that video. That video did very good, which is good because I'm glad people, responded to it. But really quick, let me tell you about the sponsor for today's video, Aura. Luckily this week, none of my social media accounts were hacked, though someone did try to hack my Facebook of all things. But what I can tell you is that data brokers are making a fortune selling your data to robocallers, telemarketers, and companies. Brokers are legally required to remove your information if you ask them to. However, they make this super difficult oftentimes, and so Aura takes care of this for you. Aura is super easy to set up, and it's got everything in one. It gives you things like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft, insurance, and more, giving you everything at one affordable price. To get a 14-day free trial of Aura, you can go to aura.com/swell, click the link in my description box, or scan the QR code that's been on screen. Again, that's aura.com/swell. And thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video. I wanted to talk about Temu, like I said in the opening, because I'm getting a lot of emails. And I know they're not all real. I'm sure a bunch of them are spam because of the rise of Temu content and people buying from Temu and talking about what a great deals there are and look at all these products I can get for $125. That's causing a potential, not just people wanting to get more legitimate reviews from people like me, because at the end of the day, when I talk about products, because of the nature of my content, when I actually do a sponsorship, my ROI for brands is fairly good because you guys know that when I promote a product to you, it's because I like that product. For some people, that is they put a premium on that, and a brand like Temu that has trying to grow as rapidly as possible. And at this point in time, they are not at the same output of products or shipping as Shein is, but they are getting close. I want to put my biases up front really quickly. When I'm talking about Shein and Temu girlies and my issues with them, when I'm not just talking about women, for the record, anyone who does mass buying hauls, weekly, monthly, what have you, I think that is the problem. If you buy one or two items once in a while and you take care of them and you use them until they are falling apart or what have you, that's a different thing, I think, because there are times in my life where I had no choice but to buy from fast fashion companies or ordered from AliExpress throughout when I was broke in high school and college because I couldn't afford anything else. There are times where that has been my norm, but I also think that because of the overconsumption culture that we're in and the trend cycle being almost non-existent, there isn't even a cycle anymore. It's just like what's popular this week. Good luck keeping up with it. Sophia Richie just had her wedding. The old money aesthetic that you guys think she has is stealth wealth. You think that's stealth wealth? I'm sorry. Just look up any of the finances from that wedding. Any of the finances. And tell me again that you think that that's stealth wealth. I think she was wearing custom Chanel half the time, please. Sophia Richie is a very beautiful girl. Her wedding was beautiful. I've been watching the content. But also, I'm not one of those people who's like, oh my God, she's the new it girl. No, they're making sure that you know that she's the new it girl. She is doing what Nicola Peltz could not do, basically, with her wedding. That's what she's doing. It's very manufactured, and it's fine if you like it. When I see people then being like, when you have to throw out your entire wardrobe because stealth wealth is back in, you're joking. You've got to be kidding me. You know what else is super fun? Your own identity. And I get it. Sometimes it's hard to find your own identity and you like being trendy and on brand or in brands and being able to be recognized that what you're wearing costs more money or what have you. But like, I don't know. I think that's another end of the spectrum that I don't think is helping things as far as like the money side goes, you know. All of this is money related because you have these people who can make these rapid financial decisions, and then that changes the culture for a week. And then so everyone can try and uphold that culture that trickles down to them. So they go to places like Temu and Shein to mass buy whole wardrobes worth of items to try and match this aesthetic. That is where I think the issue is the mass buying en masse, and the massive hauls 3 times a month. Temu, like I said, is not at the same level as Shein yet, but it's getting crazy. Just the other day, I'm gonna try and find this video. Someone was loading up their truck to go do mail deliveries and was showing all of the very obviously Temu bags that were being sorted into just this one area for delivery. And it was easily 20 to 30 bags of Temu, because it's this orange bag. They're very identifiable. It's like Sprite changing the design of their Sprite bottles because they could easily be identified in pollution. It's like, that's going to happen here at some point because there's so many of these bags going out. Same with the Shein bags. I think it's ridiculous. I've been getting a lot of emails from Temu themselves, at least people saying they work with Temu. They are part of Temu. They are part of the content creator team at Temu, or outside companies that are saying, hey, we have this Temu sponsorship opening, and either they requested to work with you or we think you're a good fit for this. And I've gotten dozens of these this year alone. I've never responded to any of them. And normally with brand deals, I forward them to my management to handle because I don't like being a dick if I don't have to be one. And that's the point of management. You are taking something off my plate. Hi, David. I don't forward these because I have zero desire to work with this company. So I'm not going to forward it to them and be like, hey, look, this is what I got, which is normally what I do. It's kind of like a first level vetting process, if anything. I don't want to work with Temu. I have zero desire to take their money. I don't care how much it is. I'm not going to work with Temu. However, I think for the purpose of this video, I'm going to reach out to every single email that they have sent to me. I'm going to respond to every single one with the same template, aside from one that I just got literally this morning as I was getting ready to film this. I got another one from a different company. And this is where I get concerned because this is giving me Halara. You guys remember Halara? I did a video on them last year. They were doing what I now believe was a lot of user-generated content on TikTok, where people would be paid a certain amount of money to film what looked like legitimate reviews, and then those would be used in ads for Halara. And I ordered a bunch of the stuff, did a review, that whole thing. I will link that somewhere. And I'm assuming that that's what they want to do, maybe, because in the email that I got this morning, this is from an outside company. And also, I'm assuming I'm not supposed to talk about this publicly, because normally I'm not, but I'm not telling you the name, so they don't get to say anything. It's kind of like the Streisand effect. If you come after me, they'll know who you are. You know, it's one of those things. May include, but not limited to, hauls, unboxing, decorating your home, and more. No. This is the one email, and if any of the other emails mention this as well, I will also be making the stipulation. So all of the emails that I'm going to be sending are going to have this. This is not my current rate, and I want to make that very clear. I'm not telling you what my current rate is, but hi, thank you so much for reaching out. I only do integrations for sponsorships, which is true, and my current rate is $5,000. It is not, but that's what I'm telling you. Would love to hear more about this collaboration and about Temu. Have a great day. Amanda Golka, Swell Entertainment. Cut and dry, simple, leave it open for them. For this particular email response, I'm gonna make a note because here they have usage. And this is my issue with any social media brand deal or what have you. Usage in perpetuity or past the video that I am posting, unless they just reshare the video itself, like, hey, Swell Entertainment made a video and talked about us. Check it out. One of our brand people shared this video, what have you. That's one thing. If the video in its entirety is being reshared for whatever reason, that is one thing. And I mean reshared from my personal page. It's not them re-uploading it, that thing. If they want to take that clip of me doing the brand deal and use it for something else, whether temporarily or in perpetuity, I charge more for that. And you should too if you are doing a brand deal, for the record, because that's your face. Client and blank will have digital usage rights for 1 year with attribution. Usage allows client to favorably post, repost, or use content in an ad with attribution. No, not without more money. So I will say I will add a note for this one. For the usage rights, what do you mean by this? I usually charge more for that. Now, I know what you're thinking, Amanda, are you allowed to do this? Probably not. But the way I see it is I'm not telling you, the people, obviously I'm talking to Temu, some of them, but some of them are not. We're just going to search Temu in my inbox and see what comes up. I'm just going to start replying to these. So this is the first one from January 2nd. They started off early. Reply. Now, there's a likelihood that I will not get responses to this while I am filming, and that is okay. Some of these are repeats. Different people, but same bold email. These people can't all be from Temu. There's like no way. Watch these people all actually be from Temu and they'll be like, why are we all getting emails from Swell Entertainment right now? So I sent how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 emails to various people, apparently either representing Temu or associated with Temu. So let's talk more about Temu. This is from CNN Business. This is written by Michelle To and Nathaniel Meyerson. This was actually posted just a couple of days ago. Too good to be true. As Shein and Temu take off, so does the scrutiny. Temu and Shein are taking off in the United States, topping app stores and creating a frenzy with consumers. But as the two online shopping platforms become hugely popular, they're also facing questions over a litany of issues, including how they're able to sell goods at such strikingly low prices, how transparent they are with the public, and how much environmental waste their business generates. Some of those questions aren't unique to the two companies. Longtime fast fashion producers like Zara and H&M have faced similar concerns. But in recent weeks, Temu and Shein have faced greater scrutiny over their ties to China, the country where their business originated from and where they continue to rely on manufacturers. Shein was started in China, while Temu was launched by a Chinese company that now bills itself as a multinational firm. They are based in Singapore and Boston, respectively. Temu, which runs a marketplace for virtually everything from home goods to apparel to electronics, was launched by BDD Holdings, BDD, last year. It has quickly become the most downloaded app in the United States and continues to expand its user base. The sustainability question, this is further down in the article. The fashion industry is responsible for 10% of annual global carbon emissions, more than all international flights and maritime shipping combined, according to the United Nations Environment Program. Around 85% of clothing ends up in landfills or is burned. Experts say the problem is even worse with fast fashion, defined as the rapid design and production of cheap and low-quality goods that respond to fleeting trends. Like I said, this trend cycle is getting almost non-existent with how fast it is going. It's something as simple, I believe, as it was either Fashion Nova or Shein, I believe, where Kim Kardashian posted a dress that she was wearing to, I believe, a red carpet event. And within 12 hours, Shein had photos of a copy, or I want to say Fashion Nova. I don't think it was Shein, actually. I think it was Fashion Nova. But that is what I'm talking about how rapid some of this fast fashion is happening. These are disposable fashion companies, said Maxime Badat, founder of the New Standard Institute. That's the crux of what they are. This stuff is not meant to last in your wardrobe. Their business wouldn't function if it did. That's, like I said originally, I'm not talking to people who are buying a Shein item once in a while and take care of it and try to make it last. For Shein and Temu, you are not their target demographic. They want you to keep buying. Same way on the other end of the spectrum. There's a major high luxury store brand chain who are trying to prevent, people who make maybe one purchase a year. And they're looking at their top clientele, where 20% of their business comes from them who buy constantly. That is the same thing, but for fast fashion. They are banking on you constantly trying to keep up with trends. Shein argues that its business model enables it to reduce waste and overproduction by producing small batches and only responding with larger production if demand is shown. The company has set a goal of reducing emissions by 25% by 2030 based on 2021 figures. Temu, which markets itself more as a general store than a fashion outlet, also said its model limits unsold inventory and waste by better matching demand with supply. The company told CNN it offsets emissions for every order with carbon credits, which support wildlife conservation efforts in the United States, though it did not provide details. That seems to keep happening. Oh, we offset by planting trees. Where? What company? Who? When? All the established title peoples got in trouble for this just now, a little while ago. By the way, I don't know if I told you guys I was this close to doing a sponsorship with them. But at least they were able to provide proof that the trees were being planted. Does Temu plant trees? Let's see. Is Temu eco-friendly? That's from, right now. Affordable shopping app that pioneered the next-gen manufacturing model has quickly gained popularity for its wide variety of products and competitive pricing. However, many consumers are concerned about the environmental impact of their purchases and wonder if Temu is an eco-friendly choice. In this article, we'll explore Temu's multi-pronged approach to sustainability, focusing on 3 key areas: offsetting carbon emissions, implementing the next-gen manufacturing model, promoting mindful consumption. Temu's approach to carbon footprint reduction involves implementing a carbon offset program that counterbalances emissions from its operations. Key actions taken by Temu include purchasing carbon credits that fund various sustainability initiatives, such as wildlife conservation efforts and preserving natural habitats for improved air quality and carbon absorption, ensuring verifiable emissions reductions through the carbon credits, which prevent or absorb emissions that would otherwise enter the atmosphere, continually investing in solutions that align with core values and contribute to a sustainable future. While carbon offsets help mitigate the effects of trade and commerce, Temu goes further by addressing the problem at its source. Instead of only offsetting emissions that have already been generated, Temu aims to reduce emissions by enhancing manufacturing and resale process. So apparently Temu has perfected the next-gen manufacturing model. End-to-end optimizations deliver 50% total cost savings versus conventional methods. Better understanding consumers, 10%. Accurate sales predictions, 5%. Efficient inventory management, 10%. Less marketing, more savings, 20%. Nimble logistics, faster delivery, 5%. Isn't this just all business? Next-gen manufacturing model. Go kick rocks. See, I get the claims. You can claim anything. So they started in September 22. They're making all these claims. The fact that they are rising and growing this much, this fast is the concern for me. There's also the mindful consumption. Do they though? I'll link both of these articles down below because this one I do think is interesting. Who is asking for proof of this? Oh, we're doing this. Okay. Where are these verifiable credits that you're talking about? We're back to the CNN business article now. They're saying that Temu did not provide details about what they're talking about. Research who studies textile waste and sustainability in global supply chains say the companies need to go further. Shein, for example, often uses low-cost fabrics that are hard to recycle. Compared with other fashion retailers, the company has a much lower percentage of products that mention using sustainable or recycled textile materials, said Liu. Rights concerns about worker concerns. In February, a bipartisan group of U.S. senators wrote to Shein, pressing the company on its supply chain practices and calling for greater transparency in the supply chain. We are concerned that American consumers may be inadvertently purchasing apparel made in part with cotton grown, picked, and processed using forced labor. The inquiry was made following a Bloomberg report showing lab testing on 2 occasions last year found that garments shipped to the United States by Shein were made with cotton from Xinjiang. I think that's how you say it. Washington has banned all imports from the Chinese region over concerns of forced labor. In a statement to CNN, Shein said it was committed to respecting human rights and adhering to laws and regulations in the country where it operates. Spokesperson said the company had zero tolerance for forced labor and worked with third parties to audit supplier factories. Temu has not faced such questions, though its sister company received backlash in 2021 over allegations that it overworked its staff. Pinduoduo said at the time that it would provide counseling following the suicide of a worker. Now, this is particularly about Shein. Temu, this has not happened with. I don't know if it will. But with Shein, there was a time last year, I believe, and a little bit the year before, where people were going and looking at their Shein garments and saw on the tag that instead of just saying, like, their washing instructions, it would say, please help or help me, things like that. And the belief was that these were people from the Shein production lines and what have you asking for help. This is from last July from Ashley Gale on Newsweek. Shein speaks out on TikTok videos claiming employees wrote help on tags. After many videos went viral on social media claiming that Shein employees wrote help on the tags of certain clothes, the company has debunked the claim. Shein has released a video on TikTok claiming the conspiracy theories are false. Recently, there has been some confusion about some of our product labels. Our intention was to remind customers to help soften this fabric by using a softener when washing the garment for the first time. The fabric is digitally printed, a process which reduces the use of water as opposed to traditional water-intensive textile printing. The company took note there was a misunderstanding as the label's wording sounded alarming. Despite the statement, many commenters still don't believe the company. One TikTok user quoted, "So wouldn't it be on all of your labels? My sister bought 2 of the same shirt at the same time, but in different colors. One has need your help on the tag and the other doesn't." One wrote, "I have been shopping from Shein for years and none of my clothes say anything to do with help." What I think is kind of being glossed over is that, working for next to no money for hours at a time in poor conditions is also bad, even if it doesn't directly fall under forced labor. And there's a variety of reasons of why someone would stay in a job that they were unsafe in, that they were not getting paid enough in, because they think they don't have any other options, or they feel their safety is in jeopardy, whether it's specifically stated or not, So I just show the working conditions. That's the easiest thing you can do. So let's pull up Temu right now. So we have a variety of products and all of that. And again, the items here for Temu specifically are much less fashion. It's a much more variety site than, say, Shein, which definitely prioritizes women's fashion and fashion in general. I get it. You know, sometimes you want to have nice things, but when you look at a lot of these listings, they don't look nice. A lot of these platforms steal photos from Instagram photographers, other small businesses, and just kind of change one color or what have you of a garment and put it up there and claim it as their own. Do DMCA and takedowns work when things like that? Because if I ever see my photo anywhere and they're like using my photo for something, that's the first thing I'm doing. $197 for hair curly stuff, $127 for a scalp massager, laser pointers for $1.47. And I know I'm taking a risk as making this video because there are topics that I want to talk about, but I don't. There's certain people that I want to cover videos on and talk about them. And it doesn't matter how much I explain that they are wrong, they are bigoted, they are homophobic, misogynistic, what have you. There will be a fraction of you that will look at their videos that I use as examples to show what a piece of shit they are. There's a fraction of you, at least 10,000 of those viewers, that will see that and be like, wait a minute, I've never seen this person before, but they have good points. It doesn't matter what I say, because they will ignore that and see this person saying that or what have you and go and start following them. I wanted to expose this person for being a bad person, but I have instead basically made them a new fan and inadvertently essentially radicalized someone towards that bad person. So there are times where I have to make the decision to say, okay, it's better for me to not speak about this on this particular platform. And I speak about them on other platforms. That being said, Andrew Tate can go fuck himself. But in saying that, I also know that while I'm talking about Temu, there are some of you who have probably never heard of Temu, and you're going to be incentivized to go and check them out because I'm talking about price, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so low. And that is the risk that I am taking with talking about this. But I want to encourage you all to know that the likelihood that someone disenfranchised, someone who is unable to stand up for themselves, unable to advocate for themselves, is suffering in the making of these products. The fact that one is saying that it's Boston founded, based in Boston, the other one's saying it's based in Shanghai. Until I see actual footage of one product going from one side of the assembly line to the other, I don't buy anything they tell us about their practices as far as we don't use forced labor, we don't do X, Y, and Z, we do it all here, we use small manufacturing. I don't buy it. I don't believe you. I don't believe you until we see proof of it. I would like to hope that you all know better than $1.97 for curling stuff that you can find at Target or a Walmart for cheaper. I know that's saying there is no ethical consumption under capitalism and someone suffered somewhere for everything. Someone is suffering always for something, but there are choices that you can make that are not this. Cutting off Temu with the knees and not making them the most downloadable app, not buying en masse from them, is the best thing that we can do. But also everything that, like this little cross necklace that I'm looking at here, vintage cross necklace, new design, black chain pendant necklace. You can find that literally anywhere. Literally anywhere. Something doesn't just have to be a counterfeit or a knockoff to be harmful. Hopefully by the time I go to edit this video, there will actually be responses to my emails, but I'm assuming that amount that I put in there will lead to nothing, especially since Temu. Interesting, considering you're saying that you're not focusing on marketing because you're focusing on, instead of production costs, so you don't have to worry about a marketing budget. Some of these people are from your marketing team, so I don't know how true that is. So of the 12 or so emails I sent out, I got 2 replies. They were so excited to hear back from me. They're worried about the rate because it's the first integration, and they wanted, instead of a 60-second integration, a 3-minute integration at $3,000. The second reply also let me know that the price was out of their budget at this time with a crying emoji and cut it down to $3,500. And both replies also mentioned that I could receive free product and that they had worked with numerous other YouTubers previously. To say that you have this great manufacturing process when you have this many listings, it's like they must think we're stupid. That just must be it. For you to say that, oh no, we're keeping production actually low because of this, because we're actually looking at market demand. You can't tell me that the same amount of people want basic nondescript rubber slides, as want handfuls of makeup brushes, as want faux star natural stone necklaces, as wants lipstick, as wants scrunchy hair ties. You can't tell me that's the same amount of products and people that want all of that. That's ridiculous. That's going to be it. Have you heard of Temu? Have you bought from Temu? What did you think of your experience buying from Temu? Has this affected your opinion of Temu whatsoever? Let me know. Comment down below. Reminder, I have a podcast, the Swell Entertainment podcast. Reminder, I have merch. Shout out to my patrons. Thank you so much for supporting my Patreon. If you also support me on Patreon, let me listen down below. Like to follow me on social media. That'll be all up here. And that's going to be it. Have a lovely day. Goodbye. I'm still floored by them claiming that like they have this great new manufacturing process. And it's like, this stuff is stuff that I've been seeing on AliExpress since high school. Thank you, Andrew, Alan, Awful, BJ, Cameron, Christopher, Chris, Crispy, Chris P, Crash, China, Dirty One, Don, Donnie, Elliot, Evan, Eric, Eal, Hopeless Homer, Incognito, Isaiah, Joe, John M, Jordan, Joseph, Kenny, Kim, Kristen Lamb, Lex, Lisa, Luis, May West, Madeline, Matt, Matthew S, Meme Lord, Michael, Michael J, Michael T, Micah, Nathaniel, Pat, Penn, Richard, Rob, Rosie, Red, Robert, Ross, Ryan, Sam, Serena, Skylar, Simon, Tasha, Timothy, Heavenly Plastic, Tyler, Tenzin, Tom, Thomas, Qwerty, Victor, Randy, Winter, Wendy, Will, Williams, Endries, Wink.